Hello guys, I am back from another video and today we're talking about what if Deku was the ultimate hybrid. So in the last video Deku, well, they started going to UA as they were told that they're going to be having a sports festival. So the day of the sports festival has begun as Izuku won several of the events until when it's the battle between Izuku and Bakugo, where they were interrupted by, the Eden's Gate Project group, as they were basically being attacked, as Izuku saw a man with, golden mask and suit, and not only that, he also has black tentacles as like for hair, as the man said this, now give me your soul. So yeah, so let's talk about what happens next. So when Izuku heard that, Izuku says, "What the heck are you talking about?" As the man says, "My name is Hastor, the man in yellow. As in yellow, I mean gold. So, give me your soul, Izuku Hades, because it will be interesting to be, experimenting." As Izuku says, you dang. I'm not gonna say that because, well, I'm still not going to swear because thanks to the YouTube algorithm, if I keep swearing, I don't get many views. Even though you guys probably like go to my videos pretty oftenly every time when I upload the video, but because of that, I don't get well that much views thanks to all of the swearing. So yeah, he he says you bassnitch. I'm That's not a bad word, YouTube. I just said bassnitch, not the other word. So yeah. So wait for a second, guys. As Hastor says, fine then. If you don't want to cooperate, then guess how to force my hand. As Izuku gets grabbed by the face, Izuku feels like his power is draining. As Izuku hears a lightning strike, as Kaminari is basically wielding a blade made out of electricity, as he says, "No hurting my friends," as he starts slicing everything, like basically like what's his name? Basically slicing everybody like Zenitsu. So after slicing all of these mutated humans that are being controlled well by Hastor, Hastor says, "You annoy me. Well then, ready to die." As his body starts changing, and it looks like, his body looks like several masses of, tentacles in a humanoid form. He's still wearing the mask. The mask is leaking this weird looking liquid. The liquid was red like blood, but so viscous that it's almost like, gravy or something. As Izuku says, "Nice one." As Izuku creates his, bow, as Izuku shoots it, as the bow, as in the bow, I mean the arrow, basically stabs into, Hastor. As Hastor starts feeling several, sharp vines with several thorns start piercing him. As for Zeus and the other, gods, they basically start using all of their powers. As for, the other students, they start running away, including some of the, civilians. As when, wait for a second, when Hastor was weakened enough, Izuku finished it by using his blade from the, well, wait for a second again, his vampire blade to basically wrap the, the whip part to basically, well, about to slice his head off, as Izuku says, "Any last words?" As he says, Ugh, memento mores. As Izuku says, well, what a great choice of words. Izuku pulls the blade as it rips his head off cleanly as Izuku basically falls down to the ground and passes out from all the shock. So, Izuku wakes up and sees, well, wait for a second. So, when Izuku wakes up, Izuku sees, well, his father being Pluto Hades and his mother, well, Persephone. As Persephone says, "Oh, thank God, Izuku. I thought you were dead." Izuku says, I'm okay, Mom. So, what happened? As she says, well, apparently the Eden Project group basically escaped, but some of the members were basically, well, sent to, well, they were sent to hell. Izuku says, wait, the maximum prison in hell? Like, the hell? Like, where all of the most dangerous, well, and most powerful gods go to? As she says, yes. Izuku says, so, what happened to my friends? What happened to my classmates? As Pluto says, don't worry, they're okay. Izuku says, oh, thank God. As for Izuku basically looking around, Izuku says, so where am I? As she says, I mean, Persephone says, oh, you're in the hospital. Izuku says, ow, my back. It feels like hell. As she says, alright, we'll be leaving. As for Pluto, he says, don't worry, kiddo. Just make sure to not, well, use too much of your power. You need to get some rest. Izuku says, thanks. So, Izuku hears the door open as Izuku sees, well, wait for a second. Izuku sees a man. The man has slick black hair, red eyes, and also has fangs. He also seems to be wearing a Victorian era style suit with a black cape and the inner part is basically red. Izuku says, who are you? As he says, my name is Dracula. You might have known me from my daughter. Her name is, I think you probably know her, right? Izuku says, wait, you're the father of Monoma. As he says, yes. So, my daughter told me that she's in love with you. So, I wanted to ask, are you worthy of your daughter's hand in marriage? As Izuku says, no, I mean, I'm not really reading it. As he says, I like you, kid. You're perfect for my daughter. As Izuku says, what? As he says, yes, you're honest. And I like that in a boy. Hmm, you're gonna be perfect. As Izuku says, I'm not really as he says, "Oh, sorry about that. I'm gonna be going. I have some much more important business to do." Izuku says, "Dang it." So yeah. So after that little conversation, Izuku's basically all alone. Where Izuku was tended by some nurses and some doctors. So wait for a second, guys. So Izuku is basically eating dinner as Izuku hears a knock at the door, as Izuku says, you can come in, as is, well, Izuku sees Toga, as she says, oh, thank God, I hope that you didn't, hurt yourself. Izuku says, please don't hug me, I feel a little bit, I feel a bit in pain, as she says, oh, sorry, and by the way, Izuku, that was completely reckless, you could have killed yourself, as Izuku says, don't worry, Toga. I'm okay. That's all that matters. As she says, fine. Alright. I'll be sitting over there. Do whatever you want. Just please don't do that again. Izuku says, fine. So, Toga is basically sitting down there. Izuku hears another knock at the door. But this time, this knock was, well, a little bit more rougher. Izuku says, you can come in. As Izuku hears the door open, but basically, the hinges of the door basically blew off. Izuku sees Bakugo completely in a rage. Izuku says, what did I do? As Toga says, hey, get away from him. As Bakugo basically pushes Toga. As Bakugo starts coming in front of Izuku. As she looks at Izuku. As her face turns from a blind rage to a, well, into a sad, almost sorrowful face. As she says, I'm sorry for not leaving you. As Izuku says, what? As she says, I'm sorry. If if I weren't such a coward, I could have not. She says, no, it's my fault. Even though I'm supposed to be the brand new goddess of war and, well, fertility, I was. Wait for a second. Sorry about that. So, she says, please, it's my fault. Please, I will do whatever you want. And Zika says, what do you mean by do um, whatever I want with you? As she starts taking off her clothes, as Zuko says, wait, what are you doing? As she says, please, oh, do whatever you want. As Toga says, hey, don't do that. As she basically, well, pushes Bakugo out of the room. As Toga says, ugh, that was interesting. Zuko says, yeah, I guess. As Zuko thinks in his mind, I can't believe that I saw my first woman. Not only that, that woman was Bakugo. And that woman also tried to take all of her clothes in front of me. What the hell is wrong with my life? Izuku hears another, well, knock. And that knock was from Todoroki. She walks up to Izuku as she says, here, I got you, well, dinner. Izuku says, thank you. She says, so Izuku, did you, well, feel, well, any side effects? Izuku says, what type of side effects? Izuku says, well, I've been reading up on these, well, eldritch gods. Apparently, they're able to turn people insane by, well, if you look at them in their true form, they make you insane. So, apparently, that magic that guy used, that that guy by the name of Hastor, Izuka says yes. She says, well, apparently that well, if you get well, um, well, if you basically get caught in the crossfire of that attack, or at least, well, are the victim of that attack, you're basically dead for life because if you well get some of your soul, or at least half of your soul get, well, captured by that spell, well, they're just going to be an empty husk. Because says, well, at least I'm not really a empty husk, at least. And she says, oh, thank God. Here, have this water. Izuku says, okay. So, Izuku drinks it. Izuku starts coughing. As Izuku says, what the heck is this? As she says, oh, that was a potion. As Izuku says, why did you give me that potion anyway? Is there, like, a reason why did you give me? As she says, yes, that potion can help you. And Izuku says, wait, what? She says, that potion is able to deflect any type of magic that, well, an eldritch deity can, well, can activate. Like, for example, that Hastor guy's, well, spells. Izuku says, interesting. So, guess I'll keep it. As they hear another knock at the door, as it's Monoma, as she says, Izuku, Are you okay? Izuku says, oh no. As Toga says, alright, I'm not letting you in at all. So she starts barricading the door by using all of the stuff in the, well, in Izuku's room. As, well, Monoma starts pounding on the door as she, well, starts transforming into bats and basically, well, coming, going into the room by going through the window. And she says, hey, Izuku. As Izuku sees that she's wearing, well, a nurse's outfit. But not only that, it's a little bit, well, let's just say revealing. As Izuka says, why are you wearing that? That's, as she says, come on, at least it will help you. As she starts smiling sadistically. As as for, well, Todoroki and Toga, she, as in she, I mean, Toga says, truce. As Todoroki says, truce. As both of them starts creating, well, for Toga, she starts creating a flame axe. And for, well, for, wait for a second, for Todoroki, she starts creating a ice scythe. As when, when, Monoma's about to, let's just say, take off the pants of, well, Izuku, well, she was kicked out of the, well, the room as she transforms into bats and basically say, there's, over a second again, Monoma says, I'll be back for you, my love, as she starts flying away. As Izuku says, oh, thank God. You're lifesavers, guys. As for, well, Toga, she says, you're welcome. And for, well, Todoroki, she says, alright, I'll be leaving. As Izuku says, okay, bye. So, Izuku was all alone with Toga. As Toga says, so, what is your relationship with that girl? Anyway, Izuku says, well, I, I don't know. I don't know why she turned into this. Izuku says, well, the day where Izuku saved her from that guy that was harassing her. So, Izuku basically tells her about everything. And she says, interesting. So, she is now, well, forever in love with you because of that, well, that blade basically grazing her. And now, as Izuku says, yeah, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to deal with this. As she says, um, I'll be leaving now, Izuku. So, she starts, opening the window as she transforms into its a form as she starts floating. As in floating, I mean she starts flying, or at least like walking on the air as she starts going home. Izuku says, uh, why is my life like this? So, Izuku tells to himself, uh, I mean, we are in a society where gods, monsters, and other such magical creatures actually live. Izuku says to himself, uh, guess I'll go to sleep then. So, Izuku, after, well, drinking water as Izuku goes to sleep. So, yeah. So, before you leave, I want all of you to pick a, well, a name for Izuku. As the name, I mean, like a god or god, as in, like basically like a hero name, but except it's basically for Izuku. As in Izuku, he's going to become a god, right? So he needs a name for his, well, wait for a sec. He needs to become a god, so if he needs to become a god, he needs to get a godly name. Like for example, dang it. Like for example, if he were to become like for say a god of like wisdom, he has to get a name named. He has to have a godly name for that. So yeah. So I just need all of you guys to to basically pick a name for Izuku, or at least like a godly name for Izuku. Okay, just go into the comments and basically comment down below there. So yeah, so I hope you liked the video, comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.